Hello and welcome. Welcome back to regularly scheduled programming. What you may or may not have just watched is our rundown of my current epitaph theory, which was a bit bonkers. I am kind of astounded in myself that I was able to come up with that much shit this early.
Crazy like a Kinzo. Oh god, he's in the room. He is Kinzo. Shit.
Yeah, I am Kinzo, guys. Really? You're gonna, when we eventually invest in a face cam, we're gonna turn it on and we got Beatrice and Kinzo right here in the room.
I hope so.
It's just us. It's just us.
We're just Beatrice and Kinzo.
That's right.
I'm okay with that.
The real voice acting is our pretending to be Ben and Felix.
This is true. It's all a giant ruse.
So, last time, because it's been a little while for us, it's been a couple of weeks or just 1 week? It's been just 1 week.
Just 1 week, come on, we got some time.
It just feels like so long.
I know, because you had the fucking epitaph thing.
Oh my god.
And that was like the longest conversation I've ever had with anyone. 2 hours back and forth. I was on the bus, trying to keep track of you and transport, come on.
Yeah, but...
Too much.
So we just had the second Twilight supposedly happen. It was Maria and Rosa.
So this is a fun point, because we've ended a chapter with the supposed death of Maria and Rosa. Maria having like a red rash spread out of her neck.
Yeah.
And Rosa having a medulla oblongata pierced by a fence.
For those of you who don't know biology, I did the Googling and discovered that's the like brain stem.
It's fucked up. But we haven't actually seen their corpses with Battler and the rest of the crew yet.
Yeah.
And the rest of the adults.
And all of this was done by old Beatrice because she felt bad about how...
New Beatrice was killing Rosa with like jelly and cake and spiders.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
What did you say it was? Ava Beatrice is what the community calls it?
Yeah, or Avatrice.
Let's stick with that one.
Sure.
Because yeah.
I'm still calling Beato.
I really wish they didn't have 3 characters named Beatrice at this point in the story. It's too much.
You don't understand.
I can't wait until we have the other, how many more Beatrices do we have to get through? 4 or 5 more Beatrices?
5 more Beatrices, theoretically, yeah.
Like, I'm assuming, considering we've had 1 portrait for each episode, that's kind of gonna be a bit of a trend.
Right.
I can't wait for Maria to be best witch.
We'll have to wait and see, won't we?
Who else would be witch? I'm really interested. I'm trying to think in my head, like, what the portraits for each character would be as witch.
Yeah.
Because, like, Ava's just kind of came out of nowhere. I was expecting, like, the crazy over-the-top dress to just become even crazier, but it actually ended up just being this kind of, like, old-fashioned purple thing.
It's a very strange dress. I kind of love it. And her, like, golden staff that she waves around, a little hat.
Actually, beautiful. Yeah, I think, it was actually... I didn't really pick up on it, but at the end of episode 1, when this Beatrice character appears... over Maria's shoulder, she was holding a staff.
Absolutely she was.
This is the first time I think we've actually seen that on screen.
Can you right-click system for me real quick?
Sure.
I want to see if we have an Ava Beatrice in system or not, because we have the, like, supernatural... supernatural... There she is!
There she is!
Okay, we can read about her, if you like. This is your character.
Oh, it is too. I'm just gonna...
Good.
Yeah.
So pretend this is you.
Oh, hey, it actually says Ava Beatrice. It's not just a fan name.
I'm not just making shit up. No, Avatrice is like the name. Anyway.
I see.
Read it.
Anyway, Ava Beatrice solved the riddle of the witch's epitaph and was welcomed as the new Endless Witch. She was gifted with an aptitude for magic and is expected to grow into an extraordinary great witch. This genius of a witch is often overindulged in her own power during her younger days. This is all written in past tense, which is really weird. Such are the trials only geniuses may endure, and if she proves successful, her name will surely be engraved in the history of endless witches. Will she be able to overcome the trials that forced her predecessor to surrender?
What do you think it means if it's written in past tense?
I don't know, like the first thought that I had, which is kind of just a bit simple, is just that because this is going to be the tips menu at the end of the game, it's going to be like, this is what happened in this episode.
Okay, sure.
But then again, that's not actually what happened for like any of the other ones, so I really don't know. That is actually quite strange. I'm gonna have to think more on that.
Sure.
Otherwise, we'll just be sitting here thinking about it.
Sounds fair to me.
Did we look at the new images?
I don't think so. Oh yeah, we have. She's got a big bow. It's very cute.
Wonderful.
She's so unamused.
Right.
Well, Rip Kumasawa.
Rip Kumasawa.
You're the best servant.
So who is this?
I mean, I assume this is Battler. Zzz.
Oh
shit, it was Ava, I guess. Well, looks like she's finally calmed down. Hideyoshi wiped his own forehead.
Oh no, that means he took his hand off her forehead.
Oh shit!
Oh shit.
So that's a bad thing. For a time, Ava had seemed to be having a very painful nightmare, but appeared she'd finally fallen asleep. As promised, he still gripped Ava's hand.
You know what? I just had a really interesting thought about this one.
Yeah?
Because the magical perspective on this one is that Ava Beatrice just killed Rosa and Maria.
Okay.
But
Okay.
what if what actually just happened is Ava killed them and she's come back to her room having killed someone for the first time and is having weird reaction to it.
Maybe.
Because I know
You think the time might be all out of whack? You think that's what we're dealing with here?
I mean, yeah, I think maybe. But it's just from what I recall, there's a thing where when people kill for the first time, it's an unnatural thing to do.
Right.
So maybe this is the convulsions as a result of that.
Well, she was looking a little sick and ill before she went to her room, though.
That's true. It might have actually happened before then, but it could be escalating now. But who knows?
Sure. Well, as promised, he still gripped Ava's hand. He thought it might be time to let go pretty soon, but he faithfully continued to hold on. Every once in a while, his hand would get tired, and he would switch between his right and his left. But even so, as promised, he didn't let go of her hand. So he's a good husband.
He's a good man.
Yeah. At that time, there was a heavy knock. Ava had finally been able to fall asleep, so Hideyoshi grimaced for just an instant. This would be Kraus, I think.
Aneki, Hideyoshi-san, sorry. Is Rosa there?
Ah, fuck.
Ah!
It was Rudolph's voice! Just show us this bright Tsurugishi, why?
Well, that'd be weird because he's out of the room.
Eh. What could it be? Hideyoshi headed for the door, hiding his footsteps so that he wouldn't wake Ava. It was definitely Rudolph's voice. Thank you. But
I'm
just
so
in case,
glad you could rub that one in on you.
Yeah, but just in case.
I feel like we should just have a counter in the bottom right every time we screw this up.
Every time.
And every time it's impossible to tell if we screwed up, we have another counter.
Uh-huh.
Who would win? Ryukishi or us?
Definitely Ryukishi. He opened the door without removing the chain. Yeah. What is it? Something happened to Rosa-san? We can't find Rosa or Maria-chan. I thought they might be with you. I heard her scolding Maria-chan in the corridor. They got quiet after that, so I thought they'd gone back to the lobby, but did they? That idiot. Rudolph clicked his tongue. Other people could be seen in the corridor. Rosa hadn't returned for a while after going out in the corridor, so they'd begun to worry. Near the front door, Natsuki pointed at the unset chain. The chain isn't set. They must have gone outside to see that Rose after all.
How extraordinarily careless to go out and leave the door unlocked. What a troublesome person.
I'm more worried about Rosa-san and Maria-chan themselves. Right. Hey, Bratz. Where was this Rosa Maria's?
I'm pretty sure it was in the flower bed, right in the middle of the rose garden.
If that's where they are, we should be able to spot them pretty quickly if we go.
Dad, shouldn't we bring them back here as soon as we can?
Of course. We'll bring them back and give them a good spanking.
Oof.
I'll dash out there and come back. Lock the door as soon as I go out.
Oh, right.
What?
I was like, why are they so concerned about the door chain? And it was like, all right, yeah,
there's outside and there's a murderer.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was like, I can't believe that just went over my head.
God damn it!
I've been thinking too
hard. You've forgotten
everything.
Don't stop thinking.
Dad, I'll go with you.
Yes. Don't be stupid. Let him go with you. It's obviously Brett's job to watch over the house with Mama. God damn it, take him with you.
You know, if this really is Beatrice's game board or whatever, it's really interesting that it's like, fuck you, Battler, you can't see this.
Yeah, totally.
What is it? Did something happen?
Sorry, did I wake you up? It seems Rosa-san took Maria-chan outside. How reckless of her.
Rosa and Maria-chan outside? In the rose garden?
That's right. Did you hear? Maria-chan was causing a ruckus because she wanted to see this rose.
And they mustn't go to the rose garden. Tell Rosa to stop.
There's no telling her to stop now. It looks like they left a while ago.
Yeah, this definitely seems like PTSD reaction right now.
Think so? Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, Battler's not directly in the scene, so it could still not be a thing. But
it's possible.
Yeah.
Seriously, how reckless of them.
That's not it. Not the rose garden. There's a witch there, and she's waiting for a sacrifice. Rosa, you mustn't go.
Ava cowered again, holding her head. Her complexion looked very bad. What is it? Did the fever make you dream something bad?
It's a dream, yes. In the rose garden, the witch doing that to Rosa and Maria-chan. That's right. It's a dream. Must be.
Calm down. I'm here in this room, and the chain is set. The shutter's closed on the window, and we've even got a gun. This room is just like a fort. There's nothing to be afraid of. Ooh, everything's fine. Hideyoshi beat his chest, trying to calm her, but Ava's insecure expression did not change. Under the covers, Ava kept praying that the grotesque nightmare she just had was only a dream. Now that's a fun phrase.
Grotesque nightmare.
Yeah. Oh boy. I'm excited. You just like jumped backwards. Oh shit! Here we go! Ah, there it is. Right click, dog.
Let's do it.
Right click that shit.
System!
The other one.
The other one!
There they are.
Rosa. Ooh, that is a nasty...
That doesn't look pleasant. Her neck has just been eviscerated, and her head has been mashed. Oh boy. Ooh. Anyway.
I guess we'll find out. Shiramia Rosa died in the rose garden with her medulla oblongata pierced by the spear-shaped part of the fence. If Maria's death hadn't been a clear homicide, it may have been possible to suspect an accidental death in Rosa's case. This woman was the human sacrifice for the birth of the new witch. Interesting.
Shiramia Maria. Her corpse was found in the rose garden. The cause of her death was strangling, probably by bare hands. Circumstantial evidence makes it reasonable to assume that she was killed after Rosa. Then,
I love
her
the
blood
actual handprint looking thing on her.
Yeah, it's great. Then, her blood became the red ink for the witch's oath. So what's interesting here? Maria's dead.
I know.
That's really fucking weird.
Oh my god, that just sunk in.
Thank you. That's why I was waiting for this moment. Maria has like never.
That's the first kid.
Died.
That's like the first. No.
George died in the
George died
second
and
Twilight.
Jessica died.
But Maria in particular, the youngest character in the game.
That means Battler's the only one I think who survived.
Till the end. I believe so. Yeah, that sounds right. But yeah, Maria dying in particular seems very strange considering her relationship with Beatrice. Or supposed relationship.
Yeah.
Anyway, might be something to think about. Do you want to move on, or do you want to theory craft?
No. I wanna keep you on. I think. I don't know. I feel like given that we've been shown a bit much this episode, I reckon we're gonna see some shit soon.
All right.
I reckon we're getting some answers.
I'm excited to power to the end. Let's go. In the center of the rose garden, Rudolph identified the corpses of Rosa and Maria. After that, he returned to the guest house, called for help, and carried both of them into the guest house. If we can trust Nanjo's examination, the cause of Rosa's death was a stab to the medulla oblongata with the pointed gate at the fence. It is thought that Maria's death was due to strangling with bare hands. However, due to the devil's proof, we cannot discount a misdiagnosis.
Interesting thing is that Rudolph went out alone.
Yeah. Why?
It feels like it's kind of trying to. It's kind of opening the door to the question of like, did Rudolph just go out and kill them both and come back and be like,
back?
oh no, look what happened.
They were dead when I found them. It's true. It's a great question. I will say it in red. Rosa and Maria died. And there we go.
Okay.
The causes of death were as Nanjo diagnosed. She wasn't eaten by a spider, nor was she crushed by a mountain of cake.
Just cross that one off the list of things that Ava Beatrice did.
Don't worry.
So you argue that even though you toyed with their death so much, it's all because the corpse is neat and clean? It's all fine because the corpse is neat and clean. I definitely won't forgive you. I definitely won't forget all that brutal treatment you gave Aunt Rosa. So I won't forgive you.
Like I said, that wasn't me. I believe I gave them a much more peaceful death than the way she treated them.
Shut the hell up. I'm not talking to you. You stated that there are no more than 18 people on this island, and now that 8 people are already dead, we can narrow the field of suspects down to 10. One of them probably killed those 2. Or could it all be an accidental death? Like Maria was having a tantrum, and when Aunt Rosa tried to stop her crying, she misjudged how much power she was using and accidentally killed her. She was so upset she slipped and fell, landed on the fence, and unluckily died. I was under the impression this was like a tall fence.
Yeah. I think it is. So, I don't know, at least...
that seems weird.
Tall as a person, certainly. I
yeah. How's that? That way there's no need for a witch or magic.
Well, that's not quite true, actually. Rosa and Maria...
Shut up. Didn't I say I wasn't talking to you? You're an eyesore, so disappear. You monster.
Battler said that without rage, but with a horribly cold voice. That strange behavior was something Beato had noticed right off the bat. In a fight, both of them could go at each other without restraint. However, he wouldn't even step into the ring. She could feel that coldness. Beato didn't find that amusing. She thought about flaring up, but she held back. Maybe even though she was innocent and childish, she had enough sense to realize that she shouldn't pick fights. Is that so? Then I'll vanish. Renove, continue for me. Certainly. Will that be satisfactory, Battle-sama? There are no problems with this... Oh my god.
What was that?
That was not even close.
Sudden Natsui.
There are no problems with her proposal. If Battler-kun doesn't want to see Beto's face, perhaps that will do.
Is that like 5 points on the Ryukishi counter?
At least.
Do what you like. If I can live without seeing that monstrous face, I don't care about anything else.
Hey, wait a second. You keep saying monster, monster, but isn't that a cruel way to speak of me? Why do you instinctively hate me so much, Battler? Even though none of that was me, even though it was all the work of my disciple.
It's not like I'm only mad about what happened just now. It's been like that from the very beginning.
Hey, Battler. Don't misunderstand, okay? Aren't we just a pair of players confronting each other through a game? We look for moves to make things painful for each other, but...
Don't get the wrong idea. I don't hate you because you're my rival in this strange game about whether I accept you as a witch or not. I just can't forgive how senselessly cruel you are.
Well, serial murders are a part of this game. It's probably impossible to avoid a little cruelty.
I'm not just talking about what just happened. There was the last time and the time before that too, tearing everyone's stomachs open and stuffing them with sweets, plowing their faces. What was the point of all that?
That's, well,
Is this still Battler?
It is you.
When it comes to closed room murders and tricks and alibis, I'm willing to give you a pass. I want to claim that this is a murder done by magic, so I'll grudgingly accept that those complicated crimes need to occur. What exactly is the point of all those grotesque murders?
Well, nothing much.
That's right. They don't mean anything. You're just fooling around by mangling the corpses for fun. It has nothing to do with whether you're a witch or whether it could or couldn't be done with magic. You're just exploring the depths of cruelty for fun. This isn't about whether you're a witch or anything like that. There are just some things I can't forgive as a human.
What do you mean as a human?
For example, the 6 people of the first Twilight for this game. Well, other than Grandfather being burned black, the other corpses were killed in a normal way without any unnecessary shaming of the dead. It wasn't clear whether the weapon was a spear or a gun, but anyway, as far as killing goes, that was acceptable. It was much better than the nonsensical grotesqueness and cruelty in the first Twilight last time, or the time before that. I find it interesting that he's, like, ignoring the whole fight in Kinzo's study where she, like, lit him on fire and he was laughing like a madman. Because he's, like, referencing this cruelty with Rosa and Maria.
Yeah.
But the cruelty that he's seen was...
Maybe he's referring to that as well, he's just not explicitly mentioning it.
I mean, maybe, but he said that the first Twilight for this game was alright.
I guess.
Well, it's just weird.
Yeah, sure.
This time there were 6 closed rooms tied together to make a closed room chain. That was sort of interesting. When we were going back and forth with each other that time, to be perfectly honest, I thought it was just a little fun. You were frantic to make me accept your existence, and I was frantic to deny it. We were both frantically doing all we could. It may sound weird, but I felt a faint sense of sportsmanship between the two of us. We existed in conflict, but I faintly thought that we might not be completely unable to understand each other's existence. But just now, that feeling was blown away without a trace. Thank you for the convenient wind cue as I said blown away.
It's a metaphor. That's what you're misunderstanding. That wasn't me.
That's not it. It's not what I'm talking about. You watched Aunt Rosa being killed horribly over and over, and you sneered at it like it was an interesting show. When I saw that, I was deeply disappointed in you. That's a pretty anime line.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed in you.
I'm not angry.
Beatrice. When I realized that your decision to kill them in a slightly better way this time was nothing more than a faint whim, and nothing had changed in your cruel character, I was deeply disappointed. On the contrary, you're even genuinely enjoying those brutal deaths. You weren't just acting as cruel as you could to bully me. You truly, genuinely enjoy cruelty. Your character lets you enjoy it. You said I'd probably think that Aunt Rosa being brutally killed over and over was fun. You weren't joking. You enjoyed it from the bottom of your heart. Wanted me to sympathize and said that I'd probably think it was fun. That instant, I lost respect for you and realized the truth. The problem isn't whether you're a witch or not. I will not forgive that cruelty of yours. I can't understand it. I can't forgive it either. Still, I'll continue this game of whether to accept or deny witches. I won't step down and accept my own defeat. However, your pointless cruelty is absolutely unnecessary for that game. So I've decided that I won't accept you as my opponent. Ronave is 100 times better. He doesn't have the same cruel hobby you do. Even if he does, he doesn't have the awful taste to show it off in front of me. That's right. You have awful taste. You're heartless and cruel, so you can't understand. It's unpleasant in an opponent, so I don't want to see your face again.
As Battler went on and on by himself, Beato was shocked into silence for a long time.
It's a nice soliloquy.
Maybe she couldn't understand what she was being told, and this was a sign that she was doing all she could in an effort to understand. For a while, she kept switching between angry expressions, frustrated expressions, bold expressions, as though even she herself didn't know what attitude she should take. In the end, she made her face into a candid expression as though she had come to her senses. She shrugged her shoulders as though she was tired. In that case, do as you like. From now on, I will continue this game through Runaway. You have no complaints as long as I don't show myself, right?
For the time being, but I definitely won't forgive all of your cruel actions up until now. And I definitely won't accept you. For that reason as well, I won't back down from this fight you've picked. I definitely won't lose. That's all there is to it.
Beato, no matter how many more excuses you give, his impression will not waver. I have something to talk about later. Until then, stay back. Indeed. Understood. Then I'll vanish until you call. Looking lonely, Beato turned back to them, and vanished. Turned her back to them. My goodness.
Wasn't it boredom was the only thing that could kill a witch?
Yeah, I think so. That's what they've said.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is this a strategy that Battler's playing?
If we're not playing, you'll get bored, and then that'll be it.
Yeah, I don't
maybe.
know. This is weird.
I'm finding it interesting. Beato didn't cackle once in that whole exchange.
Yeah.
Battler watched, a slightly displeased expression on his face. He thought his argument had been valid, but for some reason his mood didn't clear up.
She's an idiot.
That's true.
I wanted that to be in red.
She's an idiot, yeah. An idiot and a straightforward one.
That idiot watched Aunt Rosa get killed horribly with me, and turn around with a huge smile on her face. She really believed that she could laugh with me at that cruel show. She really believed that I could sympathize with that emotion. Looking at that innocent smile, I just felt horrible. Would have been much better if she'd said it with her normal bullying face. Damn it.
Milady has never had the experience of having a friend. In addition, she has probably never had something spoken to her that strongly. Madame and I are her attendants. No matter what we say, it will not reach our ears. For Milady, this is also
don't screw with me. I don't remember ever becoming her friend.
That's true enough. My apologies. There's one thing I would like to thank you for. Thank you for not backing down from that child's game. She spoke words of gratitude, but for some reason, Battler made a displeased face. Then, as though in self-derision, he chuckled.
Now that I've even got witches and demons thanking me, I'm screwed. Let's resume the game. Of course, I don't intend to go easy on you.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Unlike Milady, I do not get agitated.
I've already made my move. If we suppose that Aunt Rosa is the culprit and died in an accident, I can deny the witch. I don't want to suspect Aunt Rosa, but I think I can bear to accept that premise if it'll beat the hell out of Beato.
I will deny it in red. Rosa and Maria's deaths were homicides.
Okay. Let's start from there. Damn, I'm just not getting fired up.
I have such a smirk on my face right now.
He really does. I'm trying not to look.
Oh, Battler, please.
I'm so excited.
With Rosa and Maria's deaths, it was now clear that the culprit was still hiding somewhere.
I'm locking in at Saber. I'm just gonna say that now. I want to punch that button so when we get to the end and I'm inevitably right.
Okay, sure.
I win.
Trying to add even more murders to this chain. Some culprit. As he shed tears, Rudolph scolded Rosa's corpse for being reckless several times, but Rosa would never respond to that again. They decided to place the two corpses in one of the guest rooms and to seal it until the police arrived.
I mean, I was gonna say that was weird, but we did just red truth that they were dead.
Yep. Super dead. The second murder, the murder of the Second Twilight, had delivered a heavy blow to everyone. It had blown away the optimism that some of them had held. The thought that a crime didn't actually occur and it was all a game or a farce by Kinzo and the servants. Trying to distract themselves from the loss of the people they liked, George and Jessica had spent the whole time since morning talking about every possibility. And they had distracted their hearts by supposing that these murders might actually have all been an act, and that Shannon and Cannon were only pretending to be dead. When the next murder occurred, it destroyed that thought, and they were once again struck by the fact that the person they liked had most definitely been killed. The tears that they thought had died away began to drip down once more, and Battler couldn't think of anything to say to them. After that, all of the adults checked that all the rooms were safe and locked just in case. They made certain that the shutters on all of the windows were down and locked, and they confirmed that no one suspicious was hiding anywhere. On top of that, they checked their weapons once again, and checked with each other to make sure they were mentally prepared, so they wouldn't hesitate to fire off a preemptive shot if they saw the shadow of a mysterious person. Rosa's gun had been found near the scene of the crime. Someone had gone out of their way to leave it there, so everyone suspected that it was some kind of trap, but when Hideyoshi delicately used a fire iron to fire off test shots, he was able to discharge without incident. So since the 5 shots loaded into it had discharged without any problems, they reloaded it with bullets and handed it over to the only adult male who wasn't armed, Hideyoshi. However, the fact that it had been able to fire 5 shots gave rise to a certain paranoia. This short-barrel Winchester could only hold 5 shots. In other words, Rosa hadn't fired even once. I was about to mention that. And yet, the two who had probably been killed by someone with their bare hands. This meant there was a possibility that the crime had been committed by someone whose face they knew.
Didn't the tip say it was able to fire
4 plus 1.
It was 4 plus 1?
4 plus 1.
Okay, I thought it was 5 plus 1.
No, 4 plus 1.
Okay.
One in the chamber.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't react to that, because I was like, oh, they're gonna get to the point where they're like, she fired off a shot, but I guess I forgot the number.
She didn't fire the gun at all.
Okay.
When the first murder occurred, I privately thought of the possibility that it was all an act. My apologies to Dr. Nanjo, but if he had actually been an accomplice, I thought the deaths of all the servants might possibly have been a massive, elaborate act by Father. After all, the closed room situation they were in couldn't have been created unless we supposed that it was all an act. We also suspected that. No, I still want to believe that's the case. Oh, my apologies, but that is not so. I am quite old. I might possibly make a misdiagnosis. However, I would never mistake whether they were alive or dead.
I get it. Don't go out of your way to say it out loud, Dr. Hanjo.
My apologies. They had no way of knowing, but Beato had already used the road to proclaim the deaths of the 6. No, the deaths of all victims so far in this game. The faint dream that it was all a farce, that the victims were actually alive. I'm sorry to say, but that's impossible.
Who was that?
It might have been Battler. In that case, it makes more sense to assume it's someone familiar with the mansion. Someone hiding around and carrying out a really well-polished crime. So ever since the typhoon came to this island and sealed it off from the outside world, that's been...
Oh.
You son of a bitch.
I'm so sorry.
There's been more than 18 people here. Of course, there was no way for them to know about that either. That claim of Rudolph's has also been denied in red. There are no more than 18 humans on the island.
I think it might be Batlaw.
It might be.
But
you want to take over? You can take over if you like.
Yeah, I'll take over those.
Sure. I might have a way to look at it that keeps things consistent, at least a little. Simply put, this person in hiding is someone who shouldn't really be on this island right now. And yet, there's a likelihood that there was someone Rosa-san knew, someone she let her guard down around.
Fucking Ava. That's what it is. That's what the scene of them traveling back was.
You think so?
It was demonstrating that they had trust.
Sure.
Ah!
That's a theory you can have. So, for example, could it be a servant who wasn't on this 2-day shift?
It's hard to be certain about that one. When our servants finish their work and leave the island, it isn't as though we punch their ticket or something to make sure. For supposing that the servant on a shift from a few days ago only pretended to leave the island and actually stayed here, that would be hard to deny. That's an interesting thing I think might be a callback to one of the previous 2 game boards.
Yeah.
I'll keep that one in mind.
Okay. Sure. I don't think Rosa-san is such a fool. If a servant who wasn't supposed to be here popped up in front of you, he wouldn't be on their guards.
I'm not even sure we could be assuming that it was someone she recognized. Maybe they suddenly attacked Rosa from the darkness and were about to steal her gun. And Rosa fell, hit her head against the fence, and stopped moving. What an oddly specific theory I'm making. The guest house was nearby and they wanted to avoid the sound of gunfire, so they killed Maria-chan with their bare hands.
There's also that possibility.
That's what happened. That's what happened.
You think so?
I reckon that's what happened.
Alright, that's a theory you can have, sure. Still, even if that is the case, would they really intentionally leave Rosa's gun at the scene of the crime? We don't know what the culprit's armed with, but they gotta feel insecure about our guns. Wasn't that a perfect chance for them to thin out our supply? Why would they intentionally leave it at the scene of the crime? At first I thought the gun was a trap. That's what Chessboard thinking says it should be. By purposefully leaving it, they wanted to make one of us touch it. And they must have wanted to make us pull the trigger. I was sure that something dangerous had been done to it, to make it explode and cause massive injuries. But it was actually okay. The culprit probably panicked.
I got a gun now, guys!
I've got that gun!
I want to see that new image.
It didn't explode. He's so happy. You're so pleased to have a gun! What the fuck?
Oh my god!
Oh, Hideyoshi.
That is the best new image sprite we've ever seen. Oh my god, that's amazing!
Let's get rid of the thumbnail for this episode, please.
Yes! That is the thumbnail for this episode. It's gonna be like old sprites, old sprites, old sprites, old sprites. This motherfucker!
Fucking Hideyoshi! Oh my god.
That is so brilliant.
10 out of 10. Okay, the culprit
Shout out
probably...
to the new sprites, people. That is...
that would be Usagi.
That
Shout
is
out
so
to you.
good.
Usagi, I love you. Okay, let's continue. Culprit probably panicked. I'll bet that... Seriousness. Tense scene. I'll bet that right now they're regretting that they missed their chance to steal this gun. Boy, is
But
she a cutie.
right now.
Boy, I love this gun. Oh my god.
I don't like it. It ticks me off. It's like a message from the witch saying she isn't even scared of guns.
Oh god. However, in any event, god, now I'm completely shocked. This is truly a fearsome opponent. Even at a glance, they should have been able to tell that Rosa had a gun.
I'd be interested to see the circumstance under which that would not be the case.
Yeah. It's true. It's a great question. To think that they attacked her despite that. The fact that they are unafraid of guns should not be taken lightly.
Indeed.
It's a good observation. Thanks, Natsui.
It's as Natsui says. We should probably be even more cautious than we have been.
This is just for peace of mind, but... At the time we think Rosa-san was attacked outside, where was everyone?
Ooh.
Where was everyone?
Where was everyone?
That's a great question.
Natsui and I were here along with Rudolph and Kirie-san. I can guarantee their alibis.
Ava and I were together. I can guarantee that.
George and Iki, Jessica and I were together. When Aunt Rosa yelled at us to return to the second floor, we retraced our steps back to the cousin's room, all dejected. Back then, if we hadn't let Maria go,
Saying that isn't going to change anything.
Dr. Nanjo?
I was reading a book in a room on the second floor. I was by myself, so no one can verify my alibi, but I believe everyone saw me return to the second floor with the children. Once I say this, it'll never end. But what if you jumped out the window, attacked Rosa, and climbed back up using a rain gutter or something?
Have you seen the man?
Don't be absurd. How could I perform a feat such as jumping down from the second story or climbing up with this old body? Let us stop suspecting each other. It's more important that we trust each other and for the children's sake as well, defend this place until the very end. You're right. It's like Nazi-san says. For now, let's stop suspecting each other. That's right. We may be useless as far as searching for the culprit is concerned. We can only stay alive until tomorrow, inform the police and follow their instructions. Because the police will definitely, no certainly expose who the culprit is.
Don't say that!
Certainly.
You'll confuse the audience.
Certainly.
There was no certainly in that sentence for those of you
There definitely
who
was.
are,
I saw it. I read between the lines.
For those of you who are just listening, anyone who's just listening is going to be
They're very confused.
So confused.
What is it, Ava? Is your body still feeling bad?
Here it is. Confession.
Mother, what's
Confession
wrong?
Time.
Are you okay?
Sorry, it looks like my fever is still strong. I'll be fine, so leave me alone.
When they looked, they saw Ava staring at the floor, her
She's a fucking culprit.
breathing harsh again. She had been able to act firm for a time due to the urgency of their situation, but it seemed her body wasn't at its best after all.
Yeah, I killed those two. Now we're the only ones who know about the gold. I won't give up even a scrap to the other siblings.
Fucking Ava Beatrice.
Who is this?
Oh! This is Ava. This is regular Ava.
What have you done? There was so much of that gold, right? Giving Rosa and the others their share wouldn't have been a problem at all, right? It would. That gold is to be passed on only to the head of the Ushiriya family. That's because it, as a whole, represents no more or less than the honor of the head.
Yeah, this is a fun conversation.
To wound that even a tiny bit is definitely not something that I, the new Golden Witch Beatrice, will permit.
8.5.
Hey, yeah, that was weak. That was weak.
It's okay. I believe in you.
I think there's regular Ava?
Yes.
You plan to continue these murders according to the witch's epitaph. You actually plan to become a murderer 5 more times. Yeah. If I don't finish that annoying ceremony, it seems my power as a witch won't become complete. Hey, me. The power of the witch is really awesome. It really can make all the crazy things we imagine become reality. The power to make dreams more than just dreams. Now that I've learned of this power, I can no longer stop being a witch. If I can finish the ceremony and make my power complete, I'm sure I'll be able to teach you that feeling too.
Better.
Who's this now? I looked away from the screen.
Regular Ava.
Stop acting like a fool. Haven't you played at being a witch enough? We found the gold. We've even promised the position of successor. Probably need to tightrope walk just a bit. By now, that's a dream that will definitely come true. Beyond that, what more could you wish for? I wanted to become a witch. I don't give a damn about that dream. That's right. Because I kept holding on to that dream, I've lived at this age forever. When you became an adult, you threw that dream away. No matter how long you wait, the rabbit holding a clock won't visit you, and you won't be able to meet Humpty Dumpty. Of course, you definitely won't be invited to the land of cards, because you gave up and accepted all that and became an adult. you don't want to become a witch or anything like that anymore. I've even forgotten that it truly was your own dream at one point. Anyway, stop it. I've already gotten my hands on 2 dreams. The gold and the position of head. That's more than enough. So please, your dream has nothing to do with me. Stand down. No way. Magic's too interesting. Also, those dreams of yours both came true because of my magic. It wouldn't be fair if my dream didn't come true too. I'm grateful for your magic and I acknowledge that you're a real witch. So just stand down, Third Twilight. Just stand down and return to the inside of my heart. And never appear again. No way. We're misunderstanding each other, aren't we? That's right, I'm not you anymore. You are Shiramia Ava. I am the Golden Witch, Beatrice. So it's not my responsibility to go back inside your heart. I guess I feel like a butterfly who's broken out of her cocoon, meaning you. The fever is making my mind cloudy. My inexperience with magical powers is forcing me to support it with your vitality. Till I finish the ceremony and become a full witch, you might have to bear the burden. I'll take that as payment for making 2 of your dreams come true. It's fine, don't worry, okay? For the remaining 5 sacrifices, I'll avoid your family. Let's see. Rudolph, Kyrie, Kraus, Nazi. After that, what about that old geese and Nanjo? Perfect, I'll kill those 5 people. Could you call this a murder announcement revealed only to you?
Oh shit. Ava finally crouched down. Hideyoshi rushed up to her and lent her his shoulder. Are you okay? Let's take it easy and rest.
Are you alright? Dr. Nanjo, take a look at Ava.
When Nanjo and George tried to approach, Ava made a gesture to stop them.
Thank you. I'm fine, Dr. Nanjo. I'm taking medicine. I apologize for saying this during such an extreme situation. But let me rest a little longer.
Mum, I'll lend a hand too.
Thank you, but I'll be fine as long as your father watches over me. Go back to the 2nd story cousin's room and don't come out no matter what. Understood?
Hey.
No matter what happens, you must not leave the guest house or the cousin's room.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
I, who don't know who I'm going to kill next, says to you, person who I've decided not to kill.
No, she's so unsuspicious. What are you talking about? Unsuspicious, that's a word. Don't worry about it.
Outside that witch will,
Don't talk anymore. Sorry, everyone, but I'll be watching over Ava in our room. Tell us if something happens. Hideyoshi and Ava retreated from the lobby. However, Ava wasn't the only one who wasn't feeling good. They hadn't gotten a wink of sleep since the previous night and had been pressed by tension since that morning. They were mustering their energy to protect their families, but if they relax even a little, surely everyone will be down and out. Ooh, here we go. Everything has gone as planned up until now, but from here on out it will become difficult, you see.
difficult meaning?
Indeed. Normally, as the ceremony progresses and the victims increase in number, they begin to tighten their guard, and in most cases they hole up in one place and stop moving. That is extremely inconvenient for us.
Are you saying that we witches are inferior to a bunch of humans in a group?
Witches are never inferior to humans. However, perhaps you could say that times change and that humans have gotten their hands on a poison. This wasn't a problem long ago when people believed in witches, but just like the Tenoran's battler, people in the current era deny magic on a fundamental level. In other words, their existence itself is anti-magical. As a result, at some point, they grew to possess a toxin inside their bodies that denies magic.
In other words, you're saying that the more humans there are, the stronger the magic-resisting toxin gets and the greater the disadvantages for us witches?
The combined amount of power in their hearts that denies magic. In other words, their magical resistance power becomes a denominator in the equation of your magic's power. Understand? Is that a bit too difficult for you?
You're joking. Actually, I understand it easily. In other words, you're saying that the more people there are who don't believe in magic, and the stronger their will is, the more effects of our magic are divided. Yeah, if it's so formulaic, I'll have to rethink my method of attack.
Fundamentally, magic possesses a vast power. It can even make a rain of fire fall from the heavens or divide a sea, and reviving a lost life isn't impossible either. However, that power is extremely weak against the toxin that rejects it. And that toxin started piling up in humans since the time they forgot to respect things sacred. Until finally, this earth was covered with enough toxin that miracles of magic could not be displayed. Thus, witches from across the world were chased from their dwellings. They had been forced to choose to throw away their magic and live as humans, or else live in hiding in remote areas where the toxin of humans didn't reach. In that sense, Rikkenjima, whose population of only a few dozen humans, was extremely favorable for witches. And even more favorable was the existence of the ghost story about the witch who lived in the Rikkenjima forest. In other words, by permeating the island with the fear that a witch might exist, the magic-resisting toxin from the humans was weakened. A small population, and room for them to acknowledge magical beings. In other words, minds that were only weakly anti-magical. Only by existing in the valley where those two converged could a witch live in modern times.
I see. So using this formula, we can arrive at several rules for how a witch can use her power efficiently. The first is presentation. Create a murder scene that couldn't conceivably have been done by humans, and decorate it in a cold way. Make it look very much like a witch exists and permeate people with fear to make them believe that witches exist. As a result, the anti-magical power and the denomination for our magical power will be decreased. I see, so this is why that creepy magic circles of the first Twilight were created.
That's right, exactly. The gaudy scenes for the first Twilight in each game are all for that reason. It's definitely not as though I liked being cruel or I'm doing it for fun. Battler, are you watching?
That's so good. I
know.
love that.
It's so,
In that case, predecessor Sama, you failed this time around. You killed them in a very plain way. Doesn't look like anything more than a simple mystery. I heard about last time and the time before that from Ronove. You should have damaged the corpses more grotesquely, like you did then, making it look more like fantasy and instilling fear in those people.
Well, about that, I thought it wouldn't be harmful to do that every time, you see. Don't think too deeply on it, it's just a whim. Actually, it really had been her whim. After what Battler had said to her, she couldn't say it out loud anymore, but she really had decided her methods of killing based on mere whims. No, would it be better to say that she had half-heartedly let Ronove decide? After all, she left the closed rooms of this game's first Twilight to him. But she'd had a cruel idea that she would surely have explored the limits of atrocity even worse than in the previous game.
I only just remembered that Ronove actually appeared for the first time in this episode.
I know, it's been so long.
It feels like he's been around for such a long time.
Yeah, he's such a good friend.
He is. He is the best magic.
Ronove!
Told me to show some restraint when deciding Rosa and Maria's deaths too. But that wasn't a course of action beneficial to us witches either, was it? In actuality, by now, none of them believe one bit that a witch actually exists. They're totally sure that it's a mystery, not a fantasy. This turn of events is a failure from a witch perspective. For some reason, you keep doing things in a kinda lukewarm way, predecessor Sama.
Like they say, things you learn when you're young will definitely help you out in the future. This is a test passed on from my predecessor to you. Take it on with respect. Beto tried to laugh heartily.
But she didn't have a gun!
She didn't have a gun. It's true. But it was obviously the fake laugh of someone trying to cover something up. And the new witch shrugged with a sigh.
At this stage, it's probably too late to create a scene and reduce the anti-magic power. In that case, there's another move. Getting the humans to split up should work.
Indeed, that is probably the most effective way. The smaller the number of humans, the more the denominator shrinks. As a result, the magical power functions instantaneously. In other words, it all begins from one point: how to destroy this barricade situation and have them split up into small groups. However, they are already very cautious. The barricade will be destroyed easily, right? But the barricade in Kinto's study 2 games ago, and the barricade in the parlor last time were very stubborn. Yeah?
That's an interesting callback.
It is. It's true, though.
When were they held up in the parlor in episode 2?
Rosa, Maria, and Battler in the parlor. And there were some more people there, but Rosa kicked them out.
Oh,
and then the letter appeared, and then Rosa kicked Battler out. And then Rosa Maria went to the chapel to get the gold bar.
That's right.
So Peter's saying that that was a very bad situation, but that it all worked out. Furthermore, most of the cunning adults still remain this time. The situation is more difficult than all the other ones before it, understand? If you wish, I could give you some special advice. In a closed circle, when the first murder case occurs, the survivors always hole up. gathering together to observe each other and ensure their safety. Funnily enough, not only do mystery authors and murder culprits worry about how to break that situation apart, but so do witches who supposedly exist at the other end of the spectrum. For a while, the new witch poked her cheek with her pointer finger, and after acting as though she was planning something, she spoke.
No, I'm fine. After all, it is a test. I won't borrow your moves.
Really? Still, it will be rather difficult to defeat this barricade, right?
I've already made my move. I'm pretty sure it'll work. And it'll definitely work on someone smart.
Is that so? You really are excellent. I'm pleased to see that my disciple won't be causing me much trouble. Right?
My motto is to study things myself before asking other people. Then, if you would excuse me, I have to wait for my prey to get lured out.
That's such a great line. It'll work on someone smart.
That's really weird. I'm interested to see what happens.
Indeed. Well then, handle it with care. As the new witch lowered her head, her face blank, she turned into gold butterflies and vanished. Beato didn't look happy at all. She seemed to be lonely because of how little she was being relied on. Not one of them gives a fig for me. You witch apprentice acting so smart. I'll bet she makes some painful mistake and starts crying. Then, without a doubt, she'll finally realize my greatness and beg me to teach her. Until then, I shall watch from on high. She laughed loudly on the outside, but a laugh no one could hear is completely pointless. Beato gave up and quickly stopped laughing. Renove chose that time to show himself. Aw, Renove!
Bronove!
Excuse me, milady. The game of the Second Twilight with Parlor-sama has ended. I see. Good work. What was the result? My sincere apologies. I was forced to resign. By saying in red that both deaths were homicides, I made Parlor-sama revise his claim of Rosa strangled Maria to death then died in an accident. But I could not repel his chain of moves, placing Eva as the principal offender. Wasn't Eva sleeping in her room the whole time as Hideyoshi cared for her? He put forth the possibility that Hideyoshi was an accomplice, and that the two worked together to create an alibi. He even suspects Hideyoshi. Couldn't he have struck back by saying in red that he was in the guest house at the room at the time of the murder? I also thought of that, but multiple important pieces might have been taken several moves later. And because this move might be connected to the new Beatrice-sama strategy, I acted out of respect to her. My apologies. Now what's fun here is that we're seeing their strategy, but Battler isn't? But we are. But they're talking about how Battler will not get this information.
Yeah.
It's very strange discussion. We're seeing the other side of the chessboard, as it were. I don't know. I don't know if you have anything to say about that, but it's worth noting.
Yeah.
It's very weird. Like, we're seeing the inner tactics of the opposing force.
Now the question is do we assume that this is more misdirection and the Battler's actually witnessing this on like another level out?
Yeah.
Or are we like, okay, they're actually starting to crumble.
Yeah.
This is when things fall apart.
Well, this is something I actually wanted to bring up because there have been so many magical beings brought into the game this episode, and Beatrice was slowly losing control. Like Vigilia and Vernove and Eva Beatrice, they've all undermined her authority in one way or another. We're slowly getting to see like the inner workings of how Beato constructs Twilights and like she's losing control of the situation, it seems.
That's interesting. The other thing to consider is that Byrne was like in the first question mark one.
Yeah.
Was like, I can help, but only so much.
She helps with miracles, right?
Yeah, so maybe this is like, oh look, Battler, oh, whoops, Battler, you gave up, now Beatrice has more magic, what a shame, but it's actually Byrne being like, fuck you, Beatrice, here's more people who'll help you, but it'll screw you up.
Maybe, I don't know, it's a great question. I don't know, we haven't seen much of Byrne or Lambda, but it's kind of implied that they're working in the background, which is fun. Anyway, I've forgotten whose line this is.
So have I.
I think it's Beatrice. Yes. No, this is...
No, this is...
Yeah, this is Beato. Strategy, you say? Her mind does seem to be sharp. We can let her do as she pleases. It will be quite a show to see how far she can get. I thought you would say that. It's been so long. I see that the ungoodness of your disciple has left you in a very bad mood. That's none of your business. I wonder how that one plans to destroy this barricade going forward. I shall keep a close eye on her. No, and... how is Battler's mood? It appeared as though he had calmed himself down. He did say that he couldn't get fired up after all without you as his opponent. Really? Well, that's no surprise. No surprise at all. If I don't return for the Fourth Twilight and after, Bella probably will be very lonely by himself. And with that, if you would excuse me, I need to go bake some delicious cookies. I must at least enliven the discussion between you and Bella-sama, milady. It was intentional. Indeed. That guy really was munching on your cookies, wasn't he? It's no surprise that a boy can eat so much. Make a lot of them. Certainly. I shall make enough cookies to bury the table. That sounds great.
What is even happening?
It's so, like, out of character, right?
Ugh, so weird.
It's great.
I feel like this might be aided by some context for how tea parties work in Higurashi, but, like...
Not really. In Higurashi, tea parties are just... Everyone pretends that they're actors in a play, and then they all, like, talk about, like, what happened during the session. Like, my character died horribly. That sucked. It's great.
Huh.
But yeah. What's going on? What did you want to talk about? Kyrie called Rudolph out into the corridor.
Hmm?
It was obvious that she wanted to talk about something that she didn't want the others to hear.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I want to go outside.
Yeah, that was definitely... Felt that one coming.
Yeah, it's great.
I want to go outside.
Smash!
Wins.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh,
You gotta work harder to surprise me now.
I know. Come on, Ryukishi, you're letting us down.
That's right.